Hello and welcome to this short video in which I'm going to explain how to access the new versions of JCR and ESI and how to obtain the integration of their metrics in the Web of Science. The new versions of JCR and ESI bring with them modern interfaces, more personalization, more metrics, and most importantly, the integration of their indicators in Web of Science and the ability to seamlessly navigate between JCR, ESI, and Web of Science. Let's take a look at this integration and seamless navigation live in the product. For today, we will be searching for papers published by authors at the University of Granada. I am using the preferred name to find the total output for this organization. I have found University of Granada in the Organization Enhanced Index. Let's take a look. Here are my results. When I click on the name of a journal, you can see here that I obtain key indicator information from JCR. For journals that are from the Science Citation Index and the Social Science Citation Index, I can see the journal's impact factor, 5-year impact factor, and the journal's position in category and its quartile. Please remember that journals that are indexed in the Arts and Humanities Citation Index and the Emerging Sources Citation Index do not receive impact factors. They are not included for analysis in JCR. As you can see on the right-hand side, we have some new icons. We have the orange trophy icon, which describes a highly cited paper. There is also another one. Let me explain. Highly cited papers and hot papers are indicators produced by ESI. ESI, or Essential Science Indicators, is a database that looks at the Web of Science data from the science and the social sciences only, and it identifies who produces the most cited research. It has two paper-level indicators. In order to see if you have retrieved any of these highly cited and hot papers in your search results, we have included a new filter. Navigate to the bottom of the page, to the bottom of the refined filters, and you will see that there is a new filter to restrict your search to those that are the hot and highly cited papers. I'm selecting both. Let's take a look. What is a highly cited paper? Well, all you need to do is click on the wording, highly cited paper, and it brings up a description. Highly cited papers are papers that have received enough citations to be in the top 1% of a field of research. However, you're only highly cited during a specific time period. ESI is a database that updates every 2 months. And every 2 months, it produces the rankings. So highly cited papers are papers that are in the top 1% of a field of research during a specific period. Hot papers are identified by this red flame icon. Let's take a look at what a hot paper is. Hot papers are different because they are recent. They are papers which have been published in the most recent 2 years. They are papers that are also in the top 0.1% of a field of research. Okay, let's open up a record. For today, I'm going to open up this record. When we click on View Journal Information, we still obtain the JCR indicators, the impact factor, 5-year impact factor, and ranking category. On the right-hand side, I can see again my highly cited paper icon. If I navigate to the bottom of a record, just underneath the section Journal Information, I have a link to go to JCR. This link will take me straight away to the journal's profile, and I also have a link to view this paper in ESI. Let's go to the journal's profile. This is the journal profile page for Forest Ecology and Management. So here I can see historical data about the journal, and most importantly, I can see how the impact factor is calculated. If we're looking at the 2014 data, to view the journal's impact factor calculation, all you need to do is click on the journal's impact factor, and we can see how that impact factor was calculated. If I wanted to see the articles and reviews that contributed to the 2014 impact factor, all I need to do is change the JCR year to be 2013. Just underneath the historical data, I can see the source data, and I can see that 645 articles and reviews were considered in the 2014 Journal Impact Factor. If I actually want to see a list of records, all I need to do is click on the number 6445, and it brings up the list. If I wanted to see each record in detail, all I need to do is click on the the article's title, and it takes me back to the Web of Science, where I can see the full record for this particular paper. And that is the integration and seamless navigation live in the product. Okay, let's talk about how we access this integration. From the 2nd of May, users of the Web of Science will have two ways to access the new versions of JCR and ESI and obtain the integration of metrics. Option 1. Users access Web of Science via the FACIT portal. They go to JCR and they are then required to re-authenticate. They can choose the institutional authentication pathway. Option 2 is that users go to Web of Science via the FACIT portal. They go to JCR or ESI, but then can sign in. Signing in is only available for those users who have created a Web of Science account. That means that they have registered previously in the Web of Science. If you do not have a Web of Science registration, then you must register first in the Web of Science. Let's take a look at this live. Most users in Spain to access the Web of Science go through the FACIT portal. The URL for this is www.recursoscientificos.facit.es. This is not the only option to access the Web of Science, but it's the most common way to access Web of Science. The user then clicks on Web of Science, and authentication takes place. Now, since I am not in Spain, I have to go through signing in or to access the Web of Science. I've entered in my email address and my password, and I click on Acceder. Then there is a period of authentication, and I'm now in the Web of Science via FACIT. Okay. So to obtain the integration, I need to do this. I go to JCR in the product list at the top of the page. I click there. Once you have clicked on JCR, you will then be taken to a page in which you have to re-authenticate. There are two options. You can choose the institutional authentication option. This is at the bottom of the page. However, as of the 2nd of May, this page layout will change and the institutional authentication option will be clearer and at the top. For the institutional authentication option, please select Federation of Spain by Facete in the drop-down menu, then click on Go. However, you can also choose to sign in. If you have a Web of Science account, that means you have registered previously in the Web of Science, then you can sign in with your email address and the password. Then click on Sign In. If you do not have a Web of Science account, please go back to Web of Science and register. Once you have re-authenticated, you will then see this waiting period page. Please be patient and wait for a few seconds for the session to start. Once the waiting period has ended, you will then be in the new version of JCR. And you will be able to seamlessly navigate from one solution to another. When you go to Web of Science, and you go to Web of Science Core Collection, and you run a search, you will be able to benefit from the full integration of JCR and ESI data. I hope you have enjoyed this short video, and I hope you now benefit from the full integration of JCR and ESI data in the Web of Science. Thank you very much and good day.